The simple way to inspire your team. Inspiring a team doesn't have to be complex or overwhelming. Often, the best approach is the simplest one, where you connect with people through relatable actions, clear communication, and leading by example. Led by example. Be the beacon. Imagine you're on a road trip and the GPS suddenly stops working. What would the rest of the group do? They'll likely look to the person with the best sense of direction. As a leader, you are that person, the GPS for your team. When you lead by example, you don't have to preach or constantly direct people. They will naturally follow your behavior. If you want your team to be hardworking, focused, and positive, you need to embody those qualities first. Think of it as a lighthouse guiding ships at sea. The lighthouse doesn't shout instructions or demand attention. Its light is steady, constant, and reliable. In the same way, your actions speak louder than words. Show up consistently and maintain high standards, and your team will be inspired to follow. Communicate with clarity. Paint a clear picture. Inspiration can't happen if people are confused. It's like asking someone to follow a map full of blurry lines and unclear paths. Your communication needs to be clear and concise so that your team knows what's expected and where they're headed. Use analogies, stories, or visuals to make complex ideas easier to grasp. A real-life example might be a coach in sports. If they give vague directions like do better or work harder, it's not particularly helpful. But when they break it down into specific, actionable steps like focus on footwork or improve your stamina, players understand what to do and feel more motivated to execute those instructions. Clear communication creates confidence, and confidence fuels inspiration. Empower your team. Hand them the keys. Inspiration often comes from a sense of ownership. Think of a group project in school where you had no say in what happened. You likely felt disengaged or uninterested. But when you were given a specific role and your contribution mattered, suddenly you cared more about the outcome. As a leader, your job is to hand your team the keys to the car. Let them drive their part of the journey. This means giving them the freedom to make decisions, encouraging their creativity, and supporting them even when they make mistakes. When people feel trusted and empowered, they naturally become more motivated. They realize they aren't just passengers. They have a role in steering the direction of the whole team. Celebrate progress, not just perfection. The power of small wins. Inspiration isn't a one-time thing. It's more like fuel that needs to be added regularly. An easy way to keep that fuel tank full is to celebrate small wins. If you wait until the finish line to acknowledge success, your team might burn out before they even get close. Think of it like running a marathon. If you only focus on the finish, the miles will feel long and exhausting. But if you set mini goals along the way, like reaching a certain marker or passing a water station, each small victory adds momentum. Celebrate progress, whether it's hitting a milestone or improving a skill. This keeps spirits high and helps your team see that they are moving in the right direction, step by step. Be human. Show you care. Finally, remember that inspiration comes from connection. People aren't robots, and neither are you. Showing empathy and understanding makes your team feel valued. A simple, real-life example is when managers take the time to check in with their employees personally, asking how they're doing, offering support, or just listening. When your team knows you care about them as people, not just workers, they'll be more likely to go the extra mile. It's like watering a plant. Nurture it and it will grow stronger and taller.